Yeah, this is better.
Mm,
My guy, how fun?
so how far? Man? I'm good, man. I'm good.
I did, bro. I
So
did,
what? So why
bro.
did we? So why did you choose this time for this show? Why did you choose this time for this?
I mean, it's more. I mean, when the whole thing started, it was really this time, mostly because it's more suitable for me here. But since
Mm,
it just continued that way. It just went on. It was more convenient for people in Nigeria during when the whole Corona stuff started, because everybody was at home now. So, but now,
makes sense.
but
Makes sense.
I'm not sure. I was thinking about changing it, but we'll see. We'll see.
No, I think you should. 12 a.m.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
thinking
I
about
have
changing.
work in I have work in the morning, so yeah. But it's good.
Mm.
Let's do
Thanks,
this.
though.
But how long does it go for?
2 hours. The guy looking at 2 hours, though. But
Let's do
yeah,
1 hour. Let's do 1 hour today.
1 hour, no wahala, no wahala, no wahala. So what
I
that
think
make?
he told me Bolu, I think he told me. Yeah, you actually did tell me it was 2 hours,
Yeah, I did.
but yeah,
But it
you
makes
did.
sense,
You
especially because
did.
you're in Nigeria. It makes sense for it to be 1 hour. And I'm perfectly fine.
Mm,
Even someone said 1 hour max for guests. I feel it. I feel it. Have fun. And first of all, thanks for doing this, especially on such a short notice.
yeah, bro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. How are you doing now?
I'm
How
always
was your?
excited to have conversations.
Mm, I'm the same way. I feel you. How was your? How's your?
And the title is sorry,
Sorry.
how's my what?
You were saying, I think the network is a little lag, so it's a little hard to.
Oh, okay. Let me leave and come back. Let me leave and
Okay.
come back.
No one. No
Yeah,
one.
it's super cool
Thanks, man.
and creative, not an interview.
Thanks, man.
That's
You know,
nice. So how do you had
I literally
sorry?
told you when I was texting you. I literally told you that. You
Yeah.
literally just my head when I was texting you.
Oh. So how did you come up with the name? Oh, when you were just texting. That's spontaneous. So how were you thinking about the name before? Yeah.
No. The thing is, I just said to myself that I would just like to just have conversations with people that I really want to talk to, people that I know that in the midst of our conversation, there will just be a lot of positives from it. Aside all the banter and
Hmm.
everything, a lot of. Plus, it's more of a selfish endeavor on my part. I'm just using it as a need to just talk to people that I may not get the opportunity to pick up the phone and
Hmm.
call just like that. But
Hmm.
yeah, and immediately I thought about it, I already knew who I wanted to bring on first. Even like
Oh.
when I was telling my people that I wanted to do this, I
Who
already
are
told
these
them.
your people? Who are
Now
your
the first
people?
of all, that the baby no one show her face.
Is that your
Why
girlfriend?
did you run the? I don't understand.
Is that your
Why you
girlfriend?
stressing like this? Well, yeah, I was literally just telling them that I was talking to them about the idea, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm bringing on first, and I Lanre. So I didn't waste time to hit you up so we can kick this off. I
Bless up,
know.
bless up, bless up.
Now,
I'm
see the
going.
follow for for your
I'm
stuff.
fouls. I'm going to talk about this on radio tomorrow, in the morning rather. Ask again, Larry. I must hear you. I asked him, is that your girlfriend? Tell us, is that your girlfriend?
Yeah, she is.
Ooh, what's her name? Tell us her name.
Oreoluwa.
Oh, you travel out of this country and you still hate. You still held your Nigerianness. That's good. Oluwa, well
So
done.
that,
How are you?
no,
Me,
I want to even so
I'm
now she feel
single.
like sharing this.
I'm single, but I've got a plant. I got a plant from a condo.
From where?
Is it a condo? Yeah, it's a condo. Yeah. I got a
What
plant.
kind of
They
plant
gave
is
me.
that?
I don't know the name, but the I've forgotten the. But they call it a succulent. But I renamed her.
Oh,
Yeah, I renamed her. Do you know
to
the name I
what?
gave this plant? Lakisha. Now,
Why?
let me tell you. Yes. Now, I like that you asked why. So, as I always wanted the plant, but I didn't know the name to give it. And the names of everything that the names of anything that I name. Hmm, okay, reverse. I always wanted a plant.
Why not say the name of everything that I name?
I, I always I always wanted a plant, right?
Hmm.
And I did not know what to name this one because it was a plant, but I wanted it. So my mind, because of how stupid my mind is, because I have a very stupid mind. Because how stupid my mind said, name this plant a black American ghetto name. So I was between Lakisha or Shaniqua.
Yeah, like Isha. But those are just two very stereotypical names. Though.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't find
Unicorn.
another one. I didn't find another one. So I just went, and then I
Unicorn.
googled Lakisha. Apparently, Lakisha means, according to Urban Dictionary, an epitome of a superwoman. So I'm like,
Are you serious?
yeah. So I'm
Oh,
like, yeah.
I thought you didn't get. I think they didn't get me. I think
They
they
name
experiment
themselves
about
Lakisha.
us.
They name themselves Lakisha. Shaniqua is too much. I swear, for plants. Oh, this Lakisha is okay. Yeah,
So
so yeah, Lakisha.
it's one of those plants you have to like water all the time and stuff.
No, no. Apparently, it can stain. It's a drought. I'm gonna have to read this thing again. You don't have to water it, apparently, except the soil is dry. But you have to put it in sunlight. You have to not
Mm.
put it in sunlight. You have to just make sure that the sunlight that's reaching it is enough. So what I do is when I come back in the evenings, I just put it out by the window for like an hour or two, and then I bring it back inside and just put a little bit of water in it. So yeah, let's see how it grows. You
Oh,
know.
that was the plant on your story. Now I just put two and two together.
Yeah, that's
That's
the plan.
plant together.
What else I want to show you? Well, that's it. That's about it. Oh, my candles. There's one that I just got. I bought it because they said that it used to on light. Now I'm trapped because the light changes. Let me see if I can put it on. This is not an interview. That's why I'm showing you all these random things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where's, where's my
I'm
candle
done
now?
with it. But let's say wait, today's topic. Today's topic is anything, man. There's no topic. It's just this thing.
Wow. I can't find my new candle. Ṣé àwọn ayé ti fojú gbé candle mi lọ ní ọ̀rí? What's happening? Okay, I found it.
What's going on?
Let me see. I found it, but I'm just looking for my spark so I can switch it on. Man, I can't find the spark. So no candlelight tonight. So here we go. First,
Wait, pause. You said the candle itself the on light.
yes, like inside it.
Outside the normal flame, there is light inside.
Eh?
So
Yeah,
apart from
yeah,
the normal flame, there's light in it.
yes. Larry, is this plant what eh? What you are disguising as GF? Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. She said, today is Larry. He said, welcome to my crib. Let's see your toilet. Yeah, I'll show you guys everything.
Now MTV
All
Cribs
right.
is
This is I just got this one. This one that is on light. I think it should on light now, safe. If we just play with it small. You know on me. But anyway, this
Well,
one will show us
why they not just make a lantern or lamp
jugend.
instead of candle? I don't understand.
Jugend. Jugend. But hey, creativity.
Creativity. I can't tell you.
There's
Life is
this
bored.
one
They do things like that.
because the scent was mad. This one is a vanilla flavored scented candle. So I just
There was
have
this
three.
candle.
I just have
I
three.
did that. I actually had like three scented candles they didn't work too well for me. I don't know, probably because they're cheap.
This thing. The thing. Yeah, you just have to know the brands, like, cause they sent. Apparently, these ones are cheap. This one's like 900. This one's like 1,000 something. So you just need to like know the brand. This one was from Spa. This one Spa made this one, and this one I can't remember the people that made this one. But I think you just need to check out the brands, because this Spa one, Jesus Christ,
Strong.
bruh. Let me see your candles. Let me see the ones that you have.
Oh, I'm not in my house. I'm in Ori's house, so it's even
Alright, do
good.
you like candles?
I do actually.
It's even good I'm not in my house because my room doesn't smell like dunghill. Like say they burn those me.
Why?
But anyway, how's your pandemic experience been? The whole COVID. Do you feel like you had corona at any point? Because I honestly feel like everybody's like, come to think of it, in January, February, I was feeling a little bit
Bro,
weird.
mine wasn't even in January, right? It was when my dad passed, right? Because we had people come over to the house. Then one of those days, do you know that? That next thing I started having sore throat. I say what? What is happening here? Why am I having sore throat now? Nino pandemic, sore throat here. But yeah, that was about. So I think it's possible, maybe. And the funny thing, as I told my cousin I had sore throat, it was as if I didn't even know. Atusina said, "Me too, I have sore throat." I'm like,
I feel you, man.
I'm like, why are we having sore throat? Why are we keeping this away from? Why are we keeping this information from each other? Oh God!
What do you want to talk?
Then my brother came and said, hey, even me, like last week, I was having sore throat. I was like, what is happening here? If your family members,
If your family, but do you think that like Africans have a higher tolerance to
man,
that
I don't
dicey, that
know,
dicey question?
cause like at the same time, cause I volunteered to with the state government, right, to give people to disclose results to people who are positive, right? And I called.
How does that process work?
We're not supposed to disclose it. That's the most
Okay,
I can
okay,
tell
okay,
you.
okay. Now that GNs, okay.
Yeah, that's the most I can tell you, right? So basically, most of the people that I called, they were already sick. So in a day, like when we're in our peak in Lagos, in a day I get to call like 20 people. Like 15 out of those 20 people were already critically ill, right? So they knew that they had the virus. So it wasn't. I did not need to tell them their results. All I needed to make sure was that they were willing to be evacuated or treated from home. So it was every day. The least amount of people that knew that knew whenever I called like 20, 15 people was either like 2, 3 people. No, sorry, like 8 out of 20, like 8 people, the least that knew that were critically sick. So my G, I don't think it was about your skin color. It was just COVID-19. And we had 1,058 people die. In fact, I know 2 people that passed from COVID-19. I didn't go and see them, but I heard of 2 people, close. And then I know 2 other people that had it that were critically sick, that they lost their sense of smell, their sense of taste, fever, sore throat. I know 2 people that legit, had it. So Yeah, I don't think it was a I'm a black guy. I have a black man blood in me.
Hmm. So
Yeah,
I remember when that whole thing was going around that Africans are immune or Africans have a higher
yeah,
tolerance. I'm just like, I don't know
high
about that.
tolerance scale. Well, honestly, I feel like people have in Nigeria, yeah, people have even started dying from corona before Lagos State started carrying out tests, right? Because I remember in January, somebody tweeted that somebody's grandfather came back from China, fell sick, and then he died. He had all the symptoms of corona, and then he died. This was even before corona blew up.
Yeah.
So and according to WHO, they say if one person has it, there's a chance that 5 to 10 people have it. So if that man, that grandpa, had it and he died, and there's a chance that 5 to 10 people have it, this was before it blew up in Nigeria. Tell me, my brother.
Hmm.
Tell me, my brother.
Especially when he was not conscious about social distancing and all those things.
Do
I was
you
having
get?
this conversation with somebody the other day. I was like, even outside Corona, it's so funny how people does because in Nigeria, you can just say that somebody didn't wake up the next morning or somebody just died and they attribute it to they're chasing him from his village or they're following him.
Do
And
you
it's just the fact that we don't have education, like we're not educated in a lot of things. People
get?
have
Yeah.
died from Corona, people have died from depression, people have died from so many things that are like
Mhm.
obvious to the trained eye, but to
Mhm.
us, not just wake up.
Mhm.
And people
I
they,
keep, I keep telling people that you see half of the people that die from they didn't just wake up the next morning. They probably had an underlying health issue.
mm-hmm.
Half of the people that died from they were walking and they fell down. I don't really think anybody in the village fired arrow to them. Sometimes, I mean, it happens.
It
People in
happens,
the
bro.
village do their thing, right?
Yeah.
But because of how careless we are about health in Nigeria, 8 out of 10 of those people have underlying health issues.
Facts.
I promise you.
Facts.
And they don't know.
But
They don't know.
we're very careless because even one of the guys I
Very,
play
very.
ball with, he was telling me about how his brother in Nigeria died. And I asked him how. He said that he was hit by a car, but he died about 2 weeks later. But he was treating the leg that got broken. But apparently, he had internal bleeding. And I'm just like, he went to the hospital and they didn't even catch it. So, how? I don't even know, man. Some people say that he's people from his village. He actually said some people were saying that because he was treating the leg, he looked like everything was fine, but how come he still died? But internal bleeding, very simple thing that the trained eye would just, a competent system would just detect and you'll be okay. Carelessly. Carelessly.
May so rest in peace.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we are too careless in Nigeria, man. Too careless. We are too careless in Nigeria. Way too careless. Because I mean, when my dad was sick, right, we were referred to the general hospital. And we took him to general hospital, and we got general hospital on Sunday morning. On Sunday morning, we got there on Sunday morning. They attended to him. No, we got there on Monday morning. This Sunday or Monday. I missed some people. So the day we got there,
I feel like
we got there in the morning.
I'm trying to deduce because I know you said, because I listened to your podcast the other day. I know you said
Saturday. I went to the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was Monday. Right? So we got there and we got there in the morning. They attended to him around 5 o'clock in the evening. So
Wait, what?
He was seated in
I don't even know what it was. That or them asking for a police report.
Bro, he was seated in the ER, not inside. He was seated in the car by the ER. This is a stroke patient who was banding attention and blood sugar was fluctuating. right? He was sitting in that place from about 9 o'clock till 5 in the evening. So I attended till 5 o'clock, got him a ward. They were saying there was no ward, they were looking for bed space. Alright, and we had connections.
Upon the connections.
Upon the connection, they found bed space. They took him upstairs, took him to the bed space. Everybody was thinking, oh, treatment actually started immediately. But let me tell you where I ran mad, where I lost it. The next day, the doctors went on strike and discharged everybody.
From hospital.
Man.
Wow.
I heard from somewhere.
Exactly, is your personal story.
Doctors went on strike and discharged all the patients that were there. Yo, when my brother called me and told me, like, as I'm staying in Nazareth, my stomach is turning. I just went to go and shit. It's like, how do you discharge people?
How do you discharge? Like, I think even does your conscience not even don't it? Hey, good.
You have to get to the point where your doctors, where the frontline workers, where your health workers get angry with you and they say we are no more working again, all the patients discharge. How does it get to that point? Right? So, I mean, let me not say everything, right? Before, because I want this story, I want to take my podcast.
Yeah, you should go and the Melting Pot podcast on Spotify too, and it's bio, so.
Yeah, so like, that's it, man. So I decided to take this matter to the radio. And honestly, that day, I didn't know I was going to get emotional. I literally cried on the radio because people were calling. I thought mine was worse.
People were calling their
stories. One man
stories.
called and said her daughter needed blood. She went to the general hospital in this same Nigeria. Right? She went to the general hospital and they told her there was no bed space. There was no blood. So the woman had to go and start looking for blood. She went to buy blood by herself, brought the blood back. Because there was no bed space, they had to give the woman's daughter blood in the reception.
Same thing happened to my mom.
Same time to your mom.
When she wanted to have Tamari admit. Like she was already turning white, and then there's somebody, you know, the kind of blood she has where only her blood type can give her the blood and all that, so they didn't have it admit.
So they said she can look for the blood.
She was there
as
in reception, in labor, turning white, about to die. They didn't even care.
So they sent it to Malas to go and find the blood.
I was like, okay, so somebody was passing. Apparently, the person has somebody also checking up on. That it was the man that donated blood. If not, I don't know what story I was saying today.
I mean, see, there's some jobs here. There's some jobs that is more than school. Though. There's some jobs that they have to. You see, jobs like people that are doing medicine, cops, jobs like that. It's not for even me. It's not for a normal person. You can't be because it's one thing if you work in a restaurant, they're not paying you salary, you say you're not going to work. It's like, okay, people can eat in the house, but you're a doctor that took an oath.
I don't think they take that out in Nigeria, or they probably don't take it serious.
No, it's not even about the doctor. You see, sometimes I don't blame the doctor, right? I don't blame the doctors. I don't blame them sometimes, because let me tell you something. In a country where you present a healthcare budget and the president sits and slash the healthcare budget by 44.4%. A healthcare budget
to divert to
a
where?
Country that I don't know and I don't care. You slash the healthcare budget by 44.4%, right? In a country where malaria is dominant, in a country where 82 million people are living below below $1, right? Malaria is dominant. It's 2 million people are living below $1 per day. And malaria is dominant, right? And to cure malaria, you need nothing less than 1,400 naira. Nothing less than 1,400 naira. And people are living below $1. And then they present a healthcare budget to you, and then you slash it by 44.4%. Are you praying for people to die? So that means a layman will not have malaria in Nigeria. With the amount of mosquitoes that we have, you will die.
You will die.
It's very much, he cannot survive.
You will die.
Because he cannot buy malaria drugs.
You will die.
Right? So I don't blame the doctors. I don't blame. You should see the hospitals. You should see the infrastructure alone will just fine. If it's not that the doctors they are experienced, I would have maybe said they should not do like that day. Because the roof the ceiling was coming down. I could see the inside in the hospital in Nigeria.
Private or government hospital?
I think it was good.
It was a government hospital. They referred us there.
Even my issue, I feel like there's a conception in Nigeria where they're like, it's understandable, you kind of see it everywhere, but you have government amenities that are supposed to be for the mass public that are run down, and then you then place the demand on private institutions to step up, and then obviously with them stepping up and with them creating an infrastructure that isn't the normal, they will obviously increase charges. They will obviously ask for more money. You get, so it's almost like you are neglecting the common man. It's like, even when I'm looking at leaders.
You know the crazy thing about Nigeria. You see that common man. You see that common man. Okay, let's do like this. We are over 220 million people in Nigeria. The common men are 82 million. So how many percent is the common men? Let's do mathematics.
Let's do maths.
We are 220 million. And the common men, 82 million. The remaining, what are you? Uncommon men. In the sphere of things, you are quite irrelevant. In the look of things, the remaining 20%, of which is that 20%. In that 20%, you'll not be looking for average man. You cannot listen. There's no average man in Nigeria. See,
the disparity is large.
It's either you are rich or you are poor.
Or you are poor.
That's it. Either you are rich or you are poor. There's no in the middle. Let me define who an average man is, right? I will speak from Canada, right? From Canada, an average man is a secondary school graduate. Please bring out your calculators if you have your calculators. Let's do some very quick math, right? An average man is a secondary school graduate. You have a secondary school degree certificate, right? And I believe that's the standard for who an average man is. That should be the standard for the girls that went to school at least.
At least,
to secondary school, right? An average man in Canada, right, is a secondary school graduate. Are you with your calculator?
Yeah. I have it put up my laptop.
All right. So an average man earns. Let's do without tax, right? An average man earns nothing less than the minimum wage. An average citizen earns nothing less than minimum
What is the minimum wage in Nigeria?
But I'm coming.
I actually didn't know that. Okay.
Let's finish with it.
Okay.
So the minimum wage varies between provinces, right? So let's just say the most common is usually $15, right?
Yeah.
So an average man earns $15 per hour. So $15, and then he works 40 hours
per week.
So do the math. So how much does an average man earn in a week?
600.
600 in a week. So in a month, how much does he earn?
That is 2,400.
2,400. Alright, so in a year, how much does it earn?
28K.
28K in a year, right?
Yeah.
Good. Put those figures, put them somewhere. 28K, an average man. That's what an average man. A man who finished secondary school should be earning, right? Put that aside. Now, let's come home. 28K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's come home. Come home. Tell your neighbor, say welcome home.
Welcome home, alright.
In Nigeria, let's compare an average man in Nigeria to the average standard of an average man all over the world. The secondary school graduates, right? So an average man in Nigeria is supposed to be earning the minimum wage. Now the minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira per month.
Per month. I was about to say.
Per month, right?
That's sad.
So 30,000 naira times 4, how much is that?
Hold up. Hey, Gordy. Okay, times 12. That's 360K.
360,000 naira. That rich man cannot send it. See, in his life, he can never buy a car. Forget. He can never send children to good school. It's not possible. He can never eat good food. It's not possible. Now, let's go back to that average man all over the world. Calculate his salary.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so we just calculated for an average man.
3 times 300 Canadian dollars times 300. Let's do times 300. How much is that?
That is 1, 2, 3,
28K dollars.
808 million.
That's how much a fucking average man earns. I'm sorry that I'm swearing.
No, it's fine.
That's how much an average man earns around the world. Sorry, Nigerians, there's no average man in Nigeria. You are either poor or you are rich. And we have more poor people. And you see, 2 million is just, they're just giving us statistics of people that are living below $1. What of people that are living on $1? That's the, oh God. People that are living on $1 per day, that's the 10%. Then people that are living on maybe like $1.1 per day. You see how crazy it is? That's like 5%.
That's crazy.
You see people that are living on $500 per day. There are only 2% of Nigeria.
I believe
that
that.
are living on $500 per day.
I believe that.
It's what it is. So if we have that kind of system, if that kind of system is what we are running in Nigeria, listen, folks, we will never get good healthcare. We will never get good security. We will never get good power supply. We will never get good roads. We will never get good anything. You will never get good, as in to food. You will never get
basic needs also, basic necessities of life.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. I tell people, fam, Tobali Jackpot.
Jackpot.
Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself.
I used to do. I remember when I first came here, I was like, people would ask me that. So do you plan on staying? Like, no, I'm still thinking about it. I'm thinking of going back to that. Go back where?
To where?
To where?
To where?
To where?
You know?
See, it's this kind of thing that even makes me wonder that we pray God help Nigeria, blah blah blah. We hope for better. How much better can things even get?
You know, I'm also going to state here. I'm very sorry, but I'm going to state here. Right? I feel like God has helped Nigeria. You see, there are things that happen in Nigeria that You just know that this is God.
It's God, yeah.
You
I
just know that
agree.
this is God trying to free us of the madness that is happening. When somebody comes out to say, oh, I have this information, this is what is happening, and then everybody just ignores. I'm like, this is the God that I have been crying for to help you. How are we ignoring these things? But the government will just look for a way to shut that person up. And then when that person shuts up, the rest of us too.
Mm-hmm.
After we ramble on Twitter, and I go on the radio and shout and cry. That's about it. Me, they might even arrest me because they say I'm inciting violence, inciting hate, inciting.
I was watching the video you put up on Instagram before I found you were like, I beg, don't talk here.
Bro. Because let me tell you what they will say. Let me tell you what they will say. They will say that we brought fowls to come and incite.
Mm.
That's what they will say. They will charge the station. They will charge us. The station will charge us. Bro, make we just let's move on from this country. I've told people, and for anybody that is asking me that are you going to Jackpot? Well, just wait and see. Wait and see. That's what I'm going to tell you.
That's a good
Oh
question
yeah.
because I always, before we move on, I always see people wonder why some people who sing, I like to say sing because based on perceptions of look, I'm reading so terribly that someone that is barely surviving, they could look like they're very comfortable. They could look like they're
Mm.
making headway in the country, you get. And
Mm.
I see people's reactions when those people that seem comfortable them to the Japa and they're asking,
What
how
does
do you come out
comfortable
now?
mean? How do
I think
you the thing is how do you determine how a person feels? I'm gonna refer this question to something else. How do you determine how a person feels by what they post on social media?
mm,
Honestly, the reason why because recently somebody asked me a very crazy weird question. Hold on, before that, I think we should be reading the comments. Somebody says, someone says, give an example. Tell me, what am I giving an example of exactly? Thinking about this country can give somebody hypertension. Leave, you have an option. At least you have an option, but that average man does not. That
yeah,
layman does not have an option. Anyway, um, what was I saying? So recently, somebody asked me a very very weird question. Right? He said, have I stopped grieving my father?
because you don't like posting everything on social media and stuff.
Bro, I'm
Some
like,
people deserve slap, but like we just
I'm
this
like,
slap some people.
wallahi. And the funny thing, that day that person asked that question, hmm,
Mm.
I was in the office, and then I think somebody said something, and I remembered my dad, and then my heart literally like it stopped for like a split second. Like I was like tears came out of my eyes in the office that same day. And that way they asked me that question in the night. I'm like, why did you think that I would stop grieving my dad? Why? And I said, cause it sees that I'm doing well on my stories. I'm like, what exactly did you want? Do you want me to keep posting that my father is gone?
People like misery. People like misery.
They like it to it's where they
Like, do you want me to keep crying that my father is gone? Don't you think you would even get tired of consuming that Lanre's father is gone? Won't you message me one day and say, bro, you don't do that?
Mm.
Do you get, you know, I, I'm not hiding how I feel about losing my father. No, I am not. I would never hide it. Whenever I feel like expressing it, and however I feel like expressing how I feel, I go ahead. Days when I legit just want to cry, I cry. Days when I legit just want to not to do anything, I take those days off and not to do anything. Days when I want to be excited, I'm excited, right? So I want to beg everybody, that is here, these 12 people that are here, I want to believe people have sense. Don't ever judge how a person is feeling in real life by what they post on social media. Listen, what you see, what you're seeing, what you guys are seeing now is just this part of me. You're not seeing what my legs are. Are you seeing what my legs are doing? Are you seeing what my back? Are you seeing what?
If you were G-string, you don't know.
Do you understand? Are you seeing what the remaining part of my body is doing? You're not. Are you seeing how my room is? You're not seeing anything. All you're seeing is what they want to show you. So always have that in mind. And that's like 10% of what's going on in a person's life when they hold the camera and they do this and they are recording or they're taking a picture. That's like 10% of what's going on in a person's life. So never ever judge a person's life. It's good to celebrate with people, it's good to mourn with people when they are mourning, but never judge a person by what you see on their social media. Never. Never.
That's facts.
Never.
That's facts. It's even more dangerous when people then. I've even doing this whole notable talk thing. I've said it many times that even me, I had to come to the realization that even when you yourself, because it's easy for you to be seeing people's misery online, and even the part of you as a human will start to feel better about yourself because you are seeing that somebody else is going through it. But it's another thing when they then put up a facade of they are doing well and then you're feeling bad. And then you're judging your reality based on the mask that they're putting forward. They're not even showing your own their reality, but you're despising your own reality based on the mask that they're putting forward. You don't even know what they're going through. The other day, I was talking about how I picked up this lady from this wonderful rich neighborhood. And me driving into that neighborhood, I was like, look at these houses, look at this, the lawn. Lanre, these houses were like castles. The lawns were, it looks like somebody used scissors to cut them, the individual grass blades. And I picked her up, and when I dropped her off, I thank God for my own life because what I just found out about her life in that short trip, that she doesn't have a job, her husband doesn't have a job, she doesn't know she has cancer, her daughter has had brain injury since she was a baby. They're saving grace for the fact that she just got a job 2 weeks ago. They are sold all their stocks, they are sold all their shares. They literally just said to themselves that they have 2 months of facilities to live on. And I dropped her and I ended up encouraging her. Me that is thinking to myself that, me driving into that place, I was like, wow, I wish I could have this life. And then I'm dropping up and I'm like, I don't want to. And she's probably thinking to herself that she could switch my life with me. And I was like, you never know what's going on, man.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. And honestly, most of the things, for me, right, like most of the things I've been posting, I just said to myself, right, on my page, I'm just going to be posting mostly work-related things because I'm not going to let my career suffer. In fact, my father would not want my career to suffer because he passed. My father would legit, because of how passionate he was about my growth, my career growth. I know how passionate my dad was about me growing in the industry that I was, right? I know how he was always encouraging me. And like, I'm not joking. Almost every day when I come back and my dad sees me, he's always asking me, so how much does it cost to start a radio station? How much does it cost to start a radio station? I mean, he was very interested in my career growth, right? Right? So I would not say because he's no longer here, I will stop posting things about my career. So most of the things that I post on my tier is majorly career stuff. And if my career no dey progress, I will go chop. If I don't post, I mean, I'm in the media. If I don't post on social media, how we go
Now your
chop?
brand is promoting, exactly.
Do you understand? This is not. If you want to know my personal, how I live, like what I feel, my feelings, I have my Finsta, and is friends that are there, people who I trust, people who I think should be seeing what how I feel. Do you understand? Genuinely, right? That I have my Finsta for that. But you see this LANRESHONUBI account, it is a work account. Everything that I post on here is very intentional, whether stories or not. Do you know how many things I post and delete in my stories before people see them? Do you know how many times I edit things before I post them? And then you just come up and think that, oh, because you post this, everything is all right. Hey, God.
Now people like misery. People like misery. if like even and I realized that it's almost a human thing because even us ourselves, we have to catch ourselves sometimes when we're like, we see something bad happen to some people, we see that some people are going through a tough time, and part of us starts to feel glorified that they seem like that, and you have to catch yourself that, oh no, you can't be thinking this way, you can't be.
I mean, that's your flesh. That's the flesh.
Yeah, it is.
Honestly, this just boils down to knowing God. Because if somebody know God, you will not see another person. Your flesh will not tell you that somebody is going down in life, and then you will not be happy. The Spirit
Yes.
of God would ginger you to even pray for the person so that they can come out of whatever they are in. And honestly, I'm really thankful that I know God, right? Because times when I see celebrities, fall sick, I legit like send them messages and pray for them. And then in my own personal prayers, right, I pray for them. Like there are a number of celebrities that I'm in their DMs sending them prayers every now and then. Right, some of them reply, some of them don't. But I genuinely pray for them. And random people, when I just see that they're going through stuff, right, I just randomly send them messages like, "Yo, be strong. I'm praying for you." And I mean it because I hate seeing people. I hate seeing people down. Like I'm like, no, you shouldn't be feeling like this, right?
Yeah,
You should not be. You shouldn't be down. So come on, let's look for a way to cheer you up. So I send people prayers randomly. So like I said, it all boils down to knowing God, what you really believe in at the end of the day, what your core is, what your foundation is. If your foundation is Christ, hello, you will not allow such thoughts to grow and then
yeah,
become your reality. Your reality is in Christ, and Christ is love, right?
yeah,
That's it. So that's
yeah.
how I run my life. That's how I run my race.
The way I even see it, the way I even see it a lot of the time is that because I've had conversations with people, mostly my friends, they're mostly guys, and they say some things that baffle me sometimes because they use the argument of why would you want to deny yourself what you want? This Christianity thing you're doing, it's almost like you're stifling your desires, and I'm like, but that's the point. The
Yeah.
point is that you realize that you yourself, you're trash, and you realize that
Mhm.
you're accepting Jesus. You're now living
Mhm.
to a higher standard,
Mhm.
higher
Mhm.
than your humanity.
Mm.
Like, and they make the assumption that, and I said to them, do I look like I'm suffering? Do I look like me not wanting to do these other things that may naturally come to me? Do I look like it's eating me up inside? It's not eating me up inside.
Mm.
Honestly, I'm even glad that there's even that higher standard that I'm aware of, and I
Mhm.
can measure up to and I can strive to attain to.
Mm.
And, and
Mm.
then they don't have anything to say after that, and I'm like, it's just sad that there's just a perception out there that Christianity is denying people what they want because they
What they
assume that what
enjoy.
they want to their core is what is good for them. But at the end of
Mm.
the
It's
day,
just.
this Jesus thing is supposed to help you live to a higher standard, though.
Mhm. Mhm. And let's not forget, it's just a want. It's just a want. It's just a
Yeah,
want. It's what's with the Lanre is your happy. What is your happy face stroke persona exaggerated to cheer yourself and those around you, or does it exist regardless of what's going on? Oh, interesting. I like this question. I really love this
mm.
question. Is my happy
Especially as
face
somebody that has
exact?
known you longer than most, or not
Yeah,
of you than most.
yeah. Is my happy face exaggerated? Let me start like this. First of all, in as much as I am in everybody's faces, I really like my personal space.
Hmm. Yes, preach. Yes, Lord.
I really, I'd
Yes.
rather be. Is it yes, Lord? Jesus Christ. I'd
God,
rather be.
you just
I'd
spoke
rather
to me.
be. I'd rather be in my space, right? So times when I am not in people's faces, right? I am in my space, enjoying my time, and in that time, I'm legit making myself happy. So I don't think it's exaggerated. So I'm making myself happy by watching the things that I like to watch, listening to the things I like to listen to, texting the people I like to text. All right. So I don't think it's exaggerated. I think it's my nature, right? But like I said, my personal space. And once you are invading my personal space, you will know in my face. I don't hide it. I never hide it. Once I do not need you around, you would know.
I can attest to that.
Why?
I remember because I remember in CU that I would see because you were close with people like Davina that were in Reflection and people like Berry, Davina,
Mm,
some other people out, and you would come around. You'd be around sometimes, especially when
mm,
the events like Kanye or just
mm,
randomly, maybe on a random Saturday,
mm,
whatever.
mm,
And I would see how you could be one way when you're with the people you're familiar with,
mm,
but then I would then also see from afar. I would then also see a switch when there are other people that are not familiar but are trying to be like buddy, and I would see it, and then I would hear feedback from people like, "This Lanre guy said we too blah," and I would just laugh because, fam, I totally understood.
It's not
I
pride.
totally understood.
It's not pride. Let me tell you things that were happening to me in CU. People they crazy. Oh. In CU, I was not doing well in school.
Pause,
My
Larry.
father
Just
was
like
not
get
happy
3 minutes
with me.
left.
Oh, we have 3 minutes left, so we have to come back. Anyway,
Oh, you want to come
Oh
back?
wow.
yeah.
I don't want to do this 1 hour anymore, right? Okay,
That's
Larry.
what I'm talking about.
This
That's what I'm talking about.
the sleep have left my eyes. So like what was I saying? So in CU, there were things that were happening to me that if I start to talk, I wasn't doing well in school. I was looking for how to balance my career with my school. Do you understand? And my friends, those people that I called my friends, those people that I was very comfortable around, they were my shield. I used them as
Larry, pause. It's counting down. It's counting down. Let's come back. All right, guys, we'll come back for 2
yeah,
seconds.
the problems I had in school, because I repeated. All my mates had finished school when I was just like 300
Gone,
level,
gone.
right? So my life wasn't really going well,
Mm,
right? And so those people that I called friends were my shield,
mm,
right? They were my shield. They were emotionally, they were the people that I held on to,
mm,
right? So I literally just attached myself to them. My comfort, my being myself was with them. They understood me, right? So when people try to, come in and break that shield, I'm just like, I'm like, bro, could need, could necessary, you
Necessary.
know,
Come off it.
could necessary. And I'm just there like I said, you would know when you are invading my space, when you're invading my shield. Yeah, it might have been perceived as pride, right? But honestly, I was just protecting my myself.
Mm.
Really, why Yahweh? Because in the middle of Larry is proud, people were still saying things like Larry is an Olodo.
Mm.
I was hearing people saying he doesn't know anything. It's an Olodo. Do you get? And let me tell you, Olodo ni me agreed. Eshe, thank you. Olodo ni me, but this same Olodo is talking for 5 minutes and they're giving him hundreds of thousands for 5 minutes. I like that Olodo,
Energy.
right? This same Olodo, they heard him, they listened to his podcast, right? And then they're like, oh, I mean, this is the Hot FM job. The guy listens to my podcast and he's like, oh, come and start tomorrow. Listen to a podcast that I produced back then, Top 3 at 3. He listens to it and he's like, oh, come and start tomorrow. This same Olodo.
I remember that
And he,
testimony when you shared it. I remember that
you
testimony.
know, so it was, you see, I discovered myself very late. I discovered myself very late. I discovered myself, I discovered that I am not a multitasker. I cannot do two things at the same time. So it's either I am doing one, And if I am doing it, I'm doing it with my whole mind, and it is excelling. Do you understand? Do you understand? So that was what it was. I was focusing on my career, and my career was growing, but my school was going down. And then I did not prioritize. So, I mean, from the failure, I learned my lesson. Now I know my person. I know who I am. I know that, Lanre, you cannot be doing two things at the same time. You have to focus on one and get it done. All right. Also, I knew to prioritize. So, and all of that couldn't have happened if I was just everywhere with every other person. It was by being with my friends, moving from hostel class Hebron FM, maybe host an event, hostel class Hebron FM. It was moving like that with my friends that I understood these things about myself, even if it took time. It was moving like that made me understand these things. So yeah, it's that's just it.
I totally relate because
That's just it.
even seeing as I'm also in the gang of repeating. Yeah, I repeated once. I repeated 200 level, and then I'll actually repeat again. And honestly, from what you said about friends, what kept me sane, even though even looking back, I can recognize how I wasn't sane in lots of aspects, how I suffered mentally in lots of aspects. But what kept me together, what kept me functioning, what kept me waking up, is my friends. To be honest, you see that reflection that people were saying that they're always together, they're always feeling themselves. That was my saving grace in that school.
Me, I never had a problem. Me, I never had a problem with reflection. I just made jokes about it, about how you guys moved. I just made jokes. It wasn't a I hated these people thing. It wasn't I wanted these people to fall thing. It was just I really want to be on the road. That was just what it was. It was just a joke. Do you understand? I'll say the truth.
Yeah.
But I knew people that legit hated it.
People hate it. Look, guy, people hate hates. And I'm just like, well, why now? But for what reason? Like, because people are expressing themselves, because people are doing what they love to do, because people are a lot of, and I feel like even though there were some prime examples in reflection that didn't help the cause, but there was also a conception of reflection. They don't know anything. And I was like, yes, Olodoni means some aspects in school then at that time, that point in time. But there are still some people there that they are not Olodos at all. First class, there are plenty there. There are plenty there. And honestly, it was those people that kept my head straight. And even though I look back and like you said, now you look back and you recognize how you could have done a lot of things better. Recognize a lot of the downfalls you had, how you didn't prioritize in some ways, how even a little effort that I could have put in that would just have kickstarted a revival in maybe your education, in your academics or something. How you couldn't even do that. That could be virtue of your mental state at that point in time. That could be virtue of maybe being depressed or whatever. But that not being an excuse. It almost even just lets me know that now God last because even as you said that
I'm
that
coming.
was
Give me a second. Give me a second. Network please.
No.
All right, so we're back. Can you see me now?
Yeah, yes sir. Yeah, I think it's better now. But yeah, as I was saying, even though I can recognize a lot of things that I could have done, honestly, I'm grateful for the friends I had. I'm grateful for the friends I had. Even I was thinking, it was just that thinking to myself, but Korede, you know that at least you could have. And it's funny the way we work sometimes when you look at. It's even something I tell people around me all the time. When you're in a situation, because you're in that present situation, because of the emotions that come with that situation, and you're overwhelmed with those emotions, you can't see some things objectively. There's something that you could it's on the surface. You're having problems with academics. You literally walk up to somebody that you trust and be like, bro, I need help. I don't even have the motivation to do anything in school. To get up for class, I don't even have it. Just help me in some way. You could have done something as simple as make sure you're awake every morning. So done something as simple as make sure you get ready for class. You get what I'm saying? But because you're in that situation and because of those emotions, you don't see things objectively. And I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, it would actually help if I had, if I, because even in reflection, the many people that were sound academically, I could have walked up, I could think of two people that could have walked up to and been like, bro, I need help, man.
Mm-hmm.
But even in that, I was like, still, I don't despise the friends I had because they
No, I don't.
saved me immensely,
I don't. I
immensely.
don't. I don't. Tell me what did
Um,
you say? You say I owe you
I'm
examples of
finding
what?
myself. I'm great, and I'm
Tell
grateful.
me which example? I'm telling you, we never
My
like it. But okay.
examples of what?
Yeah, examples of what? Because I think let me tell you something. So like this is my estate, eh? As I'm talking like this, everybody around here they can hear me. So I think they're complaining that I'm making noise. You get. So we might have to
No wahala, no wahala.
round up pretty soon. Yeah. Tell me what examples of what so I could answer that and then we'll wrap this up. Sha, I feel like I'm still growing. I mean, after school, I did a certificate course. I just used my hand to go and do certificate course in English broadcasting on Coursera by myself. So I realized it wasn't even just me hating school. And now like I want to do a master's in broadcasting and go as far as a PhD, right, in this broadcasting. So honestly, I feel like it wasn't even about Lanre, you not like school. I think it was just that I wasn't prioritizing and I wasn't,
Yeah,
you know, I wasn't doing, I didn't know myself. I didn't know myself. That was what it was.
yeah,
And then the priorities. Just set your
yeah,
priorities right. You definitely do. Tomiwa, question. What's the question? What's the example? Because I want to go now.
yeah. He wants to
This
go.
conversation.
Oh, I remember what you said.
What's the
When he said something about how we cry for God in Nigeria, and then God sent someone, someone brings an idea or something, says something
Oh,
about
she
that.
just typed here.
Okay.
She said the answered prayers God gave Nigerians, but they ended up shutting it down. Also,
Oh, let
I'm
me
sorry
tell you
about your.
one. Oh, that's funny. Um, yeah. So I remember one time when this whole Boko Haram thing was going mad. Everybody was saying Boko Haram this, Boko Haram that, right? And then one guy comes and is like, he's a senator, and then he comes and is like, he knows that some men were carried to Israel for training. Nobody knows. Some men left Nigeria to Israel for training. When they got to Israel, Nigeria did not know their whereabouts again. All they knew was these men went to Israel and came back to Nigeria. And when they landed in Nigeria, they did not hear anything about them again. This man said he has facts, he has papers to back up these things. I don't know if anybody saw that video. This man said he has facts, he has papers to back up these claims that he's making today. And, he talked about how he knows that they are bringing ammunition into the country, that he has the receipts, and then, no, that was God telling us that we are fucked. This Boko Haram thing is not ending anytime soon. This terrorism is not ending anytime soon. And everybody just shut the thing down. Like even the government just made the man look like he was a fool.
Hmm.
How would a senator come out and speak like that and then everybody just ignores?
But then there's the argument that there are high people in government that are instigators and sponsors of Boko Haram
He
themselves.
he mentioned that man mentioned that. He mentioned that he's willing to name names.
Hmm.
He mentioned in that video that he's willing to name names. So that's one of them. That's one of them. That's one. That's one. That's one. Another time, a former governor, and Obanikoro. I don't want to say the former governor's name. The former governor and Obanikoro. The former governor was meant to be re-elected, right? During election, right? He was not meant to be re-elected. It was during election. And this former governor and Obanikoro, they were in a room. having a conversation and the voice note leaked. The voice recording leaked. It was 1 hour, 30 minutes. I listened to the whole thing. In that voice note, you would hear Obanikoro telling a general that, you know, I have your promotion in my hands. I'm going to Abuja tomorrow. You know, I have your promotion in my hands. When I get to Abuja, I know what I will tell them. A general, a military general was referring to Obanikoro as yes, sir. This governor and Obanikoro, they're telling the military man, so tomorrow you mobilize your men. That voice note leaked. I'm sure if you go and check for that voice note on the internet now, you will find it. I'll tell you the governor's name after. That voice note leaked and everybody ignored.
Hmm.
That man became governor. That man
So
became governor.
is the present governor?
No, he has finished his tenure.
Oh, he has finished his term.
He has finished his tenure. So yeah, there are things.
Since they
There are
call.
things that God revealed to us, but because of, you know, Yoruba will call it atenuje, because of the atenuje nature and the amount of poverty, you know, the level of poverty rather in the land. A lot of those things will be ignored, you know. So yeah, those are
And the fact
two.
and the fact that the poverty even makes people easy to be manipulated.
It will be
Just give somebody a bag
manipulated,
of rice, they can do anything for you.
you know.
But those,
And
yeah.
and you see this bag of rice thing, it's going to last for a while. It's going to be there for a while
Mm-hmm.
because like we said, the average man cannot eat good food. He cannot eat. So if I come and say, hey, oh yeah, take this 2-5 now and go and vote for me, he cannot say no because he needs to feed this night. So he doesn't care.
He
And
doesn't care.
him and his remaining 82 million point something people, they will mobilize themselves and go and vote for me. They will mobilize and go and vote for me. So 5% of, according to like YouTube, right? 5% of Whiskey's, Burna Boy, and Davido's audience is from Nigeria. People viewing their shit. Just 5%.
5%.
The remaining 95 is from the abroad.
Hmm. Now why didn't they blow like that, sir?
So now why? So you can
Now
see
why
how
didn't they blow like that?
irrelevant we are. You can see how irrelevant Nigeria internet kini is. Yeah, you can look it up, guys. You can look it up. You can look it up. You can look it up by yourself.
They are
So
very small percentage.
most of people that listen to music in Nigeria is Bluetooth that they used to send it to each other.
That's
It's
Zenda.
not Apple. It's not Apple Music.
That's
It's
true.
not Apple Music. It's not Apple Music. Where's the money to even buy an Apple phone to listen on Apple Music? Are you kidding me?
That's true.
And if it's not Apple Music, definitely Spotify is not in Nigeria. And if it's, like I said, it's not Apple Music, well, how else? You cannot do Apple Music that is even working in Nigeria.
How do you expect someone to be paying monthly for Apple Music when they can't even pay daily for their own food? They can't even pay for their own
Apple Music
amenities.
payment for Apple Music is from disposable income, money that you can throw away.
Hmm.
Too exclusive, I die. It's not too exclusive. It's that village boys
Not
that
just
say
okay.com.
Not just okay too, yeah.
it's not just okay. Oh. It's people. It's boys in computer village that put songs inside memory card for 20 naira.
Hmm.
That's how they get their music. That's how they get their music. And they don't. Who they listen to from all those places? Naira Marley, Seriki, Small Doctor. That's why those people.
Yeah.
Those people are the ones that are making the most money because those ones are. Somebody was telling
Yeah.
me that small doctor, like if our biggest Nigerian artist is earning, let's say 2 million in a month, right? Small doctor is earning nothing less than 5 in a month because some agbero in Agege will just tell small doctor, come and perform in the hotel with 5 of my friends, with 20 of my friends. I first show a party, you're giving one name. And they say in a week, the guy was like, in a week, small doctor has events like that, nothing less than 2 in a week. So speak all those small doctor normally, they cannot be broke just yet. It's not yet time. It's not yet time.
It's
On
very,
that
it's
note,
very funny because I was seeing someone say before I let you go, I want to head to sleep because I've kept you long. I know I've kept you longer
I
than.
want to,
Don't let me say I've
I
kept
want
you. I know
to.
that you have willingly stayed longer than you wanted to. But
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
was listening. I was reading someone's tweet online, and they were like, all the hate people, all the hate like Naira Zlatan then get on Twitter. Now why is it that they're still popping? And I'm like, not you Twitter people. You're not their audience.
At all.
They are not their audience.
The audience
My
is no
brother,
show.
Their audience.
And they don't have Twitter.
Can't you see all the like we see all these videos of people dancing to their songs and people enjoy, and it's not the Twitter users that you're seeing
it's not
dancing.
you. You get,
It's
you get. Yeah, their audience is the people that put their faces on their keke marwa. That's their audience. It's not you. It's not you that is speaking spree. It's, it's well. It's well. So God
Larry,
will
man,
help
let
us.
you
I mean, not God will help us. Okay, God definitely would help us. God has always been helping us. He has given us another option. Let me tell you the other option that God has given youth in Nigeria to jackpot. So go ahead. Go ahead. And
Oh
don't
my God.
people shouldn't be people, let me sorry before you go, let me also state this, right? People say things like,
Yeah.
oh, your destiny is not abroad. If your destiny is not abroad, you cannot make it abroad. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The earth is the
Tell me.
Lord. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof.
And the students thereof. Anyway, I go
Wherever
there.
wherever I find my feet, I will progress. Wherever I find
Preach.
myself, I will progress. Every good of that land would be mine in the
Yep.
name of Jesus. So if you go
Amen.
abroad, that's your prayer. You will command what you want.
Yeah.
No matter of my destiny is not there.
Yeah.
And no village, and let me tell you, no village person can stop you. Like a child of God, you can't. You
Facts, man.
cannot go
Facts.
go abroad. You go there first, then let's see you.
Guys, good. Get there first. Not true. Not true.
Go there
Not
first.
true.
All right. I think that's all I need to go.
All right, thanks, man. I really appreciate this, man. You don't know, you made.
Bless up.
First of all, I enjoyed I enjoyed this. This was nice.
It
I
was
enjoyed
nice. It was nice. It was nice, my brother.
it.
I really enjoyed
I
it too.
appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
Bless up. Thank you, man.
All right, my guy, go see now.